The transition from 3-0 to 4-0 can be one of the most difficult in pickleball. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 3 skills to break through this barrier and get to that 4-0 level. So there is a massive population of pickleball players in the 3-0 to 4-0 level, and there's endless amounts of information from YouTube videos, coaching tips, coaches' advice to try to get you over that 4-0 hump. The problem is, what do you listen to? What do you practice? How do you know what you should be doing on a daily basis? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you what I think are the top 3 things to help you go from that 3-0 level up to the 4-0. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna focus on today is learning to handle the drive. So why do I think this is an important skill? Well, number one, this is kind of the lowest hanging fruit for new players coming in, athletic players, ex-tennis players. They're coming into the game, they may not have refined their soft game skills. They're probably gonna be ripping drives right away. And if you can't handle that, that's gonna mean that you're losing to people who just started pickleball or are pretty new to pickleball. So one key thing is we have to learn to handle pace to be a good pickleball player. And the easiest place to learn that is handling off of a drive, because that gives us the most distance to react to the ball, and we can really learn and work on our technique of how we're gonna handle that fast incoming ball. So I've got a couple drills I'm gonna walk you through to show you exactly how we're gonna practice this. The first drill I call don't panic. So what's gonna happen, you're gonna be at the kitchen line, your partner's gonna be at the baseline, and we're gonna keep the ball going back and forth. I'm gonna ask my partner to drive everything as hard as they can at me. And my goal is that I'm not gonna react to the ball until the ball gets halfway to me. So why would we do this? The major mistake that people make when reacting to a drive is they panic, they tense up, and they guess. So they're reacting or guessing before they even know what the ball's doing. So what we're trying to accomplish with this drill is delay your reaction so you can actually see where the ball's going before we react to it, rather than reacting to what we think is gonna happen. The second drill is gonna kind of work on the same thing, but this is hopefully also gonna help limit our backswing. And so this drill I call tip to the ball. So same setup, we're at the kitchen line, we got a partner driving at us from that baseline. What's gonna happen as that ball comes, when we're reacting to it, we're gonna try to keep the tip of the paddle pointed at the ball as long as possible. So rather than go like this and show my face to the paddle or show my face to the ball, we're gonna try to keep the tip pointed, and then right before the ball gets there, and we'll volley it. Again, why do we do this? This is gonna help limit backswing and excess motion. So if I go like this right away, and then without really realizing it, I'm also gonna turn my body. So it may not feel like I'm swinging much, but if I do this, and then this, and all of a sudden my paddle's way behind me. So by keeping that tip, I can only point the tip of the paddle at the ball if I kind of keep it in front of me. Okay, so what's gonna happen is if I think I'm doing this, it's gonna keep that paddle out here in front more, and you're gonna notice that your volleys stay way out in front, and there's a lot less kind of swinging and pushing going on. It really helps me out if you subscribe, so you can not only watch all my past videos, but see everything that I've got coming in the future. So what if I told you that you had to play 2-on-1 against another team, or you had to play against an opponent where you have a paddle that's 50% the size of theirs? You're probably not gonna have a very good chance, right? So along those lines, if I told you that you're playing only 50% of the point while your 4-0 plus opponents are playing 100% of the point, you can see why things might be a lot more difficult. So let me explain what I mean by this. The average 3-0 to 4-0 player is what I call reacting to the ball, versus the average 4-0 plus player is being proactive to what's happening. And here's the difference. The reactive player is actually only playing half the time. So if a ball comes to me, I hit it back, I'm now kind of watching, wondering what's gonna happen. My opponents hit the next ball, and then I react to it, I run after the ball, and I hit it again. So I'm wasting all of this time where the ball is traveling from me to my opponents, because we're just kind of watching, wondering, waiting to see what's gonna happen. The proactive player is playing 100% of the time, meaning when the ball comes off of my paddle, I'm using that time to position myself and get into a better position on the court. So I hit, I react, or I'm proactive to get to my next spot. Then when they hit, then I can stop and react and then go through that whole process over again. The key here is we need to learn to play all the time, not just reacting to the ball that's coming to us. I want to give a big thanks to my sponsor, Selkirk. Check out the link in the description below and you'll get a free gift card with your purchase. Okay, so for this third concept, we're going to focus on what I call dinking with a purpose. So I can remember when I first started playing pickleball, my mentors and more seasoned players than myself hammered into my head that when you're dinking, you gotta be consistent, don't pop the ball up, don't miss, keep it going. And while those sound like good things, I remember my dinking being very poor first 6 months I was playing, kind of because of this mindset. So what's wrong with this mindset? All those things I listed are things you don't want to do. Don't miss, don't pop it up, don't give your opponent a tackleable ball. It's tough to execute on things that you don't want to do. So what we need to do is we need to flip the mindset. And so when I shifted to my mindset to what don't I want to do, to what do I want to do? I started thinking about where I wanted to place the ball, how high I wanted the ball over the net, what kind of spin I wanted in the ball, how I was going to hurt my opponents, how close to the kitchen line I was going to hit it. Those are all specific, actionable things. And a simple shift of my mindset got me dinking the ball much better because I was now dinking with purpose rather than just saying, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. So there's lots of drills we could do to work on this concept because in essence, all we need to do is we need to create very specific outcomes or very specific goals for our brain to recognize. So an example of this would be, I've got 2 cones down and I'm gonna try to dink alternating to each cone with the ball going no more than 6 inches over the net. So those are very, very specific goals. I've got a specific target, I've got a specific path over the net, and I'll even add one and say that I'm gonna try to put some topspin on these balls. So my objectives here are very specific. Thanks guys, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to grab your screenshot so you have all this information right at your fingertips next time you hit the court. When I pull the handle, the face will square up. So even if I'm like pointed like this, when I pull the handle, the face squares up. If the face is already like this, when I pull, then the face goes back even further. So it's like, it can be here and then just pull and like snap it through.